All right, everybody. My name's Steve Soloff with InformTheVoteNJ.com, and today we're sitting down with Rodney Dean, who's running for Gloucester County Commissioner.
Yes, Gloucester County Commissioner.
Right, and normally we cover Cumberland County, but as we started InformTheVoteNJ.com, Rodney was one of the first people to actually respond to our outreach because he was running for Congress.
Yes.
Was that last year or 2 years ago?
I think that was last year.
Right. And so when that was happening, we reached out to him, and we actually got in touch with him through a letter.
Yes, you wrote me a letter.
Right. I wrote everybody a letter, and I sent everybody an email, and it kind of points out something fairly interesting. Like, the reason why I started doing this is because I was trying to find information about all the candidates, and there was nowhere online to find somebody like you and a lot of the other people, and it was amazing how easy it was to just go back to the roots and send somebody a letter in the mail and have them answer it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I appreciate you sitting down with me again today.
Yes.
It helps me stay informed, and hopefully the people who are paying attention, they'll stay informed as well.
I hope they're paying attention. And
So why don't you introduce yourself to everybody and introduce your son?
Okay, we're on Mr. Steve Soloff's podcast. One of the greatest podcasts about what's going on in the political party and the people running for whatever they're running for. But my name is Rodney Dean Sr. This is my son, Kane Dean, a.k.a. Sharpe Shepherd, in his boxing endeavors.
Yeah, I see you posting a lot of videos with your son, training him, hitting Bob.
Yeah, Mr. Bob.
And you're holding mitts and stuff for him.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
He'd rather box than be on the street. You know how the guys in the videos want to sell drugs and have the money up. Mm-hmm. He does not think that's real. He don't think it's cool. And he wants to do something productive to where he can do one-on-one to see how good he's gotten with a contact sport of boxing. Because he's also a chess player.
Oh, okay.
So being a chess player and boxing goes hand in hand.
It's a lot of problem solving.
It's a lot of problem
The chess
solving.
is more like the thinking in slow motion. Boxing's like, you better be on your toes.
You better be on your game when you get knocked out. You got a glass chin, stick to chess.
Right, I hear you. So then let's get a little bit more into why you decided to get into politics and what made you choose to run for commissioner this year.
Well, I got into politics because, first of all, the politicians in Cumberland County, in Gloucester County, and other counties, they run our lives. We have no idea who is running. We have no idea what they're running for. We have no idea about anything. So I called the Attorney General, and I complained about the mayor at the time of Paulsboro, Steve, I forget his last name, but he was the mayor of Paulsboro.
And when was this?
This was at least 5 years ago.
Okay.
And he told me, you know, Rodney, if you want to make a difference, run for a politician, run for something. You know, do something.
Right.
And boy, that gave me the idea to run.
Sure.
Because, you know, if we need help, there's nowhere to go for help. I've been in every office, and they tell me this office doesn't do what you need help for. This office doesn't do. And
That'll lead into a topic that I want to get into later, but I totally hear what you're saying.
Right.
So yeah, you were having some problems, you went to the mayor, you were asking around town, and the mayor said, if you want to make a change, get involved, right?
Not the mayor, the Attorney General.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Attorney General. And so now here you are.
Now here I am.
You've been involved for the past couple years, and
Yes.
we're following through.
Learning.
So let's get into the race a little bit. You had mentioned something about the Gloucester County Sheriff and that person running and having some problems and all that, but I don't want to explain it because you know it way more than I do, because that's Gloucester County.
Right.
So why don't you help me and the viewers understand what that situation's all about?
Well, I'm going to tell you it's like this here. Marino ran for sheriff department. He's been running the sheriff department for years. So last 4 years ago, he lost to a guy named Simmons. So I went to Simmons and I asked Simmons, hey, I want to start a boxing gym for the kids in the community of Gloucester County and other counties if we're able to, but I really want to start something in Paulsboro and stretch it out. And he looked at me like I was somebody sitting on the side of Wawa. Like, now I'm not educated, like I never ran for mayor. You know, I told him my credentials and I have good credentials, and he just ignored me. So now he lost to Marino, and now he's suing Gloucester County. Now this is all public knowledge. He's suing Gloucester County and saying they have been racist towards him while he was the sheriff, the main sheriff of Gloucester County. So I've been racist towards too, you know, since I've been running. You know, but you gotta keep fighting and keep fighting. So now he's running for Gloucester County Commissioner. Why do you think that is?
I'm not quite sure.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you.
Illustrate.
I'm gonna illustrate for you guys. He's running again because the first 4 years, look what he's done for the community, for Gloucester County. Absolutely nothing. He fattened his pockets up. See, he bought a house. He probably bought nice cars. I'm not sure what he bought. But I know he didn't do anything for Paulsboro. He didn't do anything for Woodbury, West Deptford, Washington Township. He didn't do anything for no kids, no veterans, no nothing. All he did was fatten his pockets up, and he wanted the power. Now he lost the race, so now all of a sudden I'm suing for discrimination. Now if I win, you know, you can put me in the basement. I'll make the basement as comfortable as possible, long as I work for the community. Okay. You know, he's suing them because they put him in the basement. He said it was mildewed. He said it wasn't right. Well, you can put me on top of the building, and I'm going to work so hard for the community so everybody in the community gets what they need. Just do. I'm not worrying about myself. This man and other people running for Gloucester County Commissioner and other positions, all they're worrying about is their own pockets.
Okay, so you're basically saying this guy is going to be a challenger or an opponent for you in this race.
He's running this race. He's running for Gloucester County Commissioner just so he can stay in Gloucester County's pockets.
And so you're saying you're going to take more of an approach that no matter what the challenging circumstances are, you're not going to complain about it. You're going to roll up your sleeves and get the job done. I'm
going to roll up my sleeves like we did years ago. Back in the day, like our grandfathers, like our grandfathers' grandfathers, and I'm gonna go to work. Yes, I'm gonna roll my sleeves up, and I'm gonna help the community. I'm not gonna complain about it. There's no reason to complain about it. It's getting the job done. That's
Gotcha.
how I was raised, and that's how I raised my son. Don't complain about it. Get the job done. And if you vote for Rodney Dean, Gloucester County Commissioner, I will get the job done for you.
Cool. And then in our correspondence, you also mentioned that there seems to be a pattern of the same people being in office. Would you say that that's the case right now, or?
I'm going to tell you that's the case right now, only because we don't have people like Mr. Steve Soloff giving the community the education about who's running for what's being ran for, like Gloucester County Commissioner. None of y'all know who Gloucester County Commissioner is. You know, the congressman, the mayor. You have no clue when the voting starts. The only people that know is the same people that have been in office for the last 25 years.
You know, that's an interesting point that I was going to bring up is the more I get in depth into what's going on with the elections and every season, it's quite eye-opening to realize that if you really want to know what's going on, you have to pay attention and look at it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
It's one thing to have a general idea that, like, oh, maybe the primaries are in June and the general elections are in November.
Right.
But what really happens is, as soon as that general election is done,
yep,
somebody is 100% on top of which seats are open,
yep,
who do we want to endorse for the next race, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
But the general public doesn't see a lot of that.
The general public does not see if I'm running Democrat or Republican. They are getting paid from the Republican side and the Democrat side for their person to win. They're not giving you the opportunity to vote for the right person.
I'm not sure if that's 100% fair. You get the opportunity, but you don't see all of the inner workings of it.
Let me finish telling you now.
Sure.
You don't get the chance to vote for the right person because you don't have the knowledge of when the election is and who is running. That's all I'm saying. Mm. Now, some people, yes, you're right. They do know who's running. They do know when the election is, but not 99.9% of the people. When I go to Paulsboro, I say, can you sign my signature? I'm running for Gloucester County Commissioner. Well, what is a Gloucester County Commissioner? What would you be doing? Oh, I can't sign your paper because I don't know who you are. Well, you don't know who the other commissioners are neither. You don't know if it's 6 of us. You don't know if it's 9 of us. Well, it's 6 of us with 2 more seats open right now. That's why I'm running. And I'm running to take care of the community, and I'm going to have other people in the community in the different towns and cities and boroughs underneath me, you know, helping the community.
Sure.
You know, but again, we need someone like Mr. Soloff. I'm saying your last name right?
Yeah.
Correctly. Mr. Soloff, to give out the news so you can have this. This man is knowledgeable about what's going on in politics. Now again, you can go on newjersey.gov and find out this, and this, but it's only telling you about 2024 right now. It's not telling you about 2025 because 2025 has not got here yet. So it's really not telling you Rodney Dean is running. It's not telling you Kane Dean is running. Mr. Soloff is running. It's not telling you that. You need someone like Mr. Soloff to tell you who's running for what do they do, when is the primary, when is the election, what time to come out, what time to close. This is real. The people that say, oh, don't go vote because it's not real, this is real. And when you complain about this and you complain about that because you didn't come out and vote, get registered and come out and vote. And if you have to go, you have to go on Mr. Soloff's website and his podcast to get the information. This is the only information of Cumberland County that you guys need to come out and get the education, be informed.
I appreciate the kind words.
It's true. I wish you could be in Gloucester County and also do it in Gloucester County. And if I win my position, I'm bringing Mr. Soloff with me so he can inform everyone of what's going on in the community, in every community. West Deptford, Paulsboro, Swedesboro, Woolwich Township, Washington Township, Logan Township, you know, and we all have to come together as one to change things, to make things better for our children. Not to say, oh, I got the job with the township, or I got this political position, I'm not worried about nobody else. That's the wrong way to think. Because every mayor, every congressman, everybody I went to, every sheriff told me that they don't handle my problems or anybody else's problems in the county when they work for us. I'll be working for you, and I'm going to work hard for you.
All right, now let's shift it back a little bit more towards your specific race. If you were to be elected,
yes,
what would your top 2 or 3 priorities be to help Gloucester County?
Well, I was always told, and I've learned to stick with one subject. So my one subject rolls in the ball: the community, the children, the elderly, and the veterans.
Mm-hmm. And then, do you have maybe specific plans for the children, the seniors, and the vets?
I do. I would make sure, first of all, the seniors are comfortable in the winter time first, in the summertime. I would give the seniors something to do. If they, you know, they're always complaining about something, so I would help them out, whatever they need, because they really don't need much as seniors. I would try to lower their taxes. I would try to, a lot of things they shouldn't have to pay for, and I would go hard for that. Same with the veterans. They done went out and fought for us to live comfortable, for us to run for these positions. So I would definitely go hard for the veterans. So it's a lot of things the veterans shouldn't have to pay for. You know, but they're doing pretty good with the, you know, the veterans,
the services.
Yeah, the veteran services.
I see some of the assemblymen, they're writing legislation right now to help them out.
Finally.
But there does seem to be a concern at the national level with the new administration doing stuff.
That's what I would be fighting hard. Mm-hmm. And I stay up all night long, you know, reading, writing, and y'all know I will write a 20-page essay to whoever's in charge about what's going on. So people know I'm going to fight for you. And children know I'm going to fight for you. I'm going to give you somewhere to go, something to do, to stay off the streets. You know, if you're hot, you know, we open up some hydrants, shut down some streets, get a pool, you know, do something safe. But I don't have all the answers. I'm going to tell you that now. So I'm going to need you guys to come link up with me and give me, you know, some of your ideas, because I'm a very humble man. You know, it's not like Steve tell me something and I'm going to get upset. I'm going to take what you tell me and use it.
Oh, right. You're open to suggestions and you're listening to the community.
Yes.
So that you can actually represent the people.
Absolutely, Steve.
Yeah.
Thank you. You put that in a beautiful way.
Yeah, we helped each other out.
Yeah.
So anything other specific that you want to do for the county before I move on to the next topic?
Well, I would love to put a boxing gym up. Mm-hmm. I've been doing boxing for over 30 years. And when I really, really was in it, I had kids coming from Philadelphia, coming to my gym, keeping them off the streets. And we didn't have a gym, we just had a gym. basketball gym, and we did the hand pads, and we had.
Oh, you're
Mr.
saying you
Bob.
didn't have a boxing specific gym?
Right, we didn't
just
have
had a general gym.
Right, a general gym where we brought our own things. But guess what? The men stepped up and got involved and helped me coach. We never lost. We might have lost 1 or 2 fights, but we never lost. That's one thing we do. We don't lose. We swim without getting wet. And that's what we're going to do in this election. We're going to swim without getting wet, meaning we're going to throw, dip, and move without getting hit on.
And what specific good for the community would that boxing gym provide, as opposed to just a place for people to get a general workout?
It's going to provide a safe haven. It's going to provide education. It's going to provide, if you have a problem, you'll have someone to talk to. It's a lot of kids out here that doesn't have fathers, and that bothers them. It's a lot of people find out that they were adopted, and it bothers them. It's a lot of problems these kids have that we didn't have coming up that need to be addressed. So not only will the gym be for physical, education and, getting in shape, but we're gonna help you mentally, physically, and emotionally.
So it's like a space for the community to get together.
Absolutely.
Right.
And the community will come together because they come together in Woodbury Steelers football. They do a good job. I was just talking about Township comes together and they do a good job. Paulsboro, Deptford, West Deptford, Woodbury doesn't have a wrestling team anymore. We need to bring that back, but we need you adults to step up and care about these kids and come together.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's move on to the next topic. So as part of my journey with starting this website and getting the information out to the public, we're touching on something that you were talking about a couple minutes ago, which is the community at large. Well, I don't know what the exact numbers would be, but a lot of people in the community, they don't know what's happening in their local government, from who is the county surrogate, what is a county surrogate.
Listen to me.
What exactly should you expect the county clerk to do? Or if you have a problem with something, is that something you talk to your mayor about, or do you have to talk to a state senator to get the law changed, or all this kind of stuff? And so one idea I have is to bring local civics back into schools. And that way, people like your son would be taught directly, this is what the county surrogate does. If you have a problem with the school board policy, do you actually go to the school board meeting, or do you have to call your state legislature to get that specific law changed? And yet,
Exactly.
So, what's your take on reintroducing local civics back into schools?
1,000%. It's what Steve said is so important. It's more important than telling everybody that Christopher Columbus founded America. What Steve said is more important than going to school because you got Jordans on your feet. What Steve said is more important than going to school trying to be cool. Educate yourself. We have no idea who to go to for help, and they're not letting us know who to go to for help. You have no clue who to go to. So yes, Steve, we need that in the schools. We need it in the communities. We need everything that you're wise of and that you know in the communities, in the schools. And these kids need to learn this. Because there's a lot of kids that's 18. Oh, I'm not voting. I don't even know who I'm voting for. Like you said, they're uneducated and they're very intelligent. These kids are so intelligent, they can be astronauts, they can work for NASA, they can do these things, but they're uneducated because they don't know. So I would love to get Steve into the schools, into the communities, so he can give out, his ideas, his knowledge to the people. Now, I wasn't going to say it, but I'm going to say it. Shannon Sharpe, I hope you're people, somebody, you reach out to Steve Soloff, because you don't have no political information on your podcast. And we need this.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you're talking about the little red pills. We need this. Joe Rogan, the same thing. You need to reach out to this man. You're talking about what Deion Sanders' son was drafted. You're what are y'all doing? Is smoking mirrors. We need Mr. Steve Soloff's information on y'all's podcast. You need to make this man bigger. You need to help him out.
Well, I appreciate the promotion.
Well, I don't see it as a promotion. I see it as this is what we need. So, Shannon Sharpe, you have the table. You're big. Joe Rogan, same thing. You need to put this man on your podcast so we can get this political stuff out. Even the other people that have political podcasts, you need to get Steve Soloff on it, because you're worried about the state. Okay? How can we get from the state and we don't know nothing about the communities, the townships, the townships, the communities, Cumberland County, Gloucester County, the boroughs, the cities. We have no clue about that. But on TV, you got the state, the state that. I try to call the governor. You try to call the governor tomorrow. You won't get through.
You're saying on some of these bigger podcasts, they focus on these like very big issues that may or may not apply to the everyday person, whereas something like what I'm doing is more granular, more local, more specific.
Absolutely.
Right.
And then you can understand what's going on in the states. That's like me teaching your son or daughter to do 1, 2, 3, 4 uppercut, slip back, and turn off the ropes with a hook, without showing her the basic jab first. Mm-hmm. And I hope y'all can understand what I just said. But that's what it is. Yeah.
I've been studying my self-defense for over a year or so now, and that is exactly one of my complaints about the teaching systems. You just said it. If I could take 1,000 classes and try to learn 1,000 different things, but if my jab is not in order, I'm gonna get knocked out.
Right. If your jab ain't in order, you're not gonna know how to throw any combinations. This man is nice with his hands too, but a lot of gyms and a lot of places you go, a lot of boys and girls clubs, they don't teach you. They take your money. I teach you. I break it down and teach you. My son has never fought a day in his life until I put him on Facebook.
Okay, yeah.
And that was his first fight ever, and I think he did very well.
Cool. But I guess to translate it to the political world it's the jab of politics is just show up to your local meetings and getting the specific information for the specific problems that are happening in your neighborhood.
Yes.
And that way you can solve that one little thing and learn that process, and then you can build upon it, as opposed to trying to think about like what's going on the other side of the world or whatever.
Right, which for us makes no sense.
Right.
One step at a time. but we need Mr. Soloff to give us these steps at a time. I can't give them to you because I don't know.
Well, it's a learning process for all of us.
Yes, it is. But we have more of an understanding than 90% of the people in the communities, whether it's Gloucester County or Cumberland County.
And so hopefully we can help as we go along.
Yes.
And let's move on to the next idea. And actually, I usually don't like to read word for word off my scripts or whatever.
Right.
But I think we had a good connection in our correspondence, so allow me to read.
Please.
You mentioned that in past election, Gloucester County hasn't always made it clear to voters that multiple commissioner seats were up for grabs, which you feel left the public unaware of the full picture. That ties into a broader issue I've seen too. Even when important races are happening, voters are often left to figure things out on their own.
Yes.
So, what my idea for that is to have the counties themselves do what I'm doing. Now, I could be a part of that process, maybe.
You need to be part of it.
But what I'm saying though is, you got to hand in your signatures, right?
Yeah, I have to, and I did it twice.
So, but the point I'm getting to is, if you have to show up to an office with your signatures, why can't they just hand you a packet of questions?
Right.
And they could have the information themselves and put it on their own websites, and then have somebody trained like me or whatever to do something very simple, like a basic interview where it's non-biased, voluntary, you can do it. I mean, this isn't rocket science.
No.
Sending letters in the mail.
Right.
Answering basic questions.
Right.
Hitting record on a phone.
Right.
All this stuff is very... Or you could even do the meet and greets.
Right.
Or the town halls. It should all be standard operating procedure.
Right.
And made easy for somebody like you to do it. And then easy for somebody like me to know this is the one place you look.
Right.
I don't want to follow 4,000 people on social media to get their political information. I don't want to drive all over the state to meet and greets and 1,000 planning board meetings that may or may not be important.
That you're falling asleep at.
Right.
What they're doing, what they're doing is they're taking a algebra question. Here, 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 and here. When everybody who knows algebra can take that question from here and get the answer from here. 2 steps. But what they do with us, they make you go through this step, that step, this step, and it confuses you.
It's extra convoluted.
Right, when you can get to it in 2 steps. And I learned that from the water and sewer department because you have to know the gallons and so forth and so on. And I've been to school for that for 6 years. And they tried to do that with me. And just to go back to the signatures, I had to get the signatures twice. Now I handed in the last signatures, 313 signatures, and I had to get 250 signatures. So if all of a sudden I'm out the race, it ain't because of my signatures. It's because I fight for the people.
So, I mean, just to bring it back and just directly clarify, you would be in favor of having the county directly deal with you with asking the basic questions like I asked?
Yes, I would like Steve Soloff, instead of doing the signatures, come in, have me come in, have your questionnaire, what you say,
a questionnaire, do a recording, basic interview like this.
Interview I was trying to get out, interview me, and instead of all that other stuff, that's why I was talking about the long, question, the math.
Right.
They
Instead
give us
of
the
being
long
like
algebra when he can give us the short algebra and get right to the point. That's what we need. Get right to the point.
It's like cutting the fat out of the process. You don't need to go on like 17 different wild goose chases to get a basic answer.
Right, right. We need Mr. Solof's educated political information to go further, but they're hiding it from all of us because they want the same people in, they want their nephews and nieces in, and they're very rude to the community because they know we need y'all even though y'all work for us. So if I get elected, when I get elected, I work for you and I'm gonna work hard for you. I'm gonna bring Mr. Soloff in, and then I'm gonna try to work with him down here in Cumberland County to get the same thing happening. So if we get more and a lot of people, we have an army, we can't be stopped. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to get the answer. Don't be afraid to vote for the person that's gonna help you. Just don't vote because this is my buddy. You know, Simmons is my buddy. Even though he's suing Gloucester County, taking money from the kids in the community, taking from the school, taking from the elderly, taking from the veterans, because you were in the office of mold and you didn't like it. Who cares? You should have just did a great job and you probably would have won again. You complaining about something that you should have been working on the community with. That's what ticks me off about you. And then when I came to see you, you brushed me off to the side like I was just a man that's sitting on a corner of Wawa begging for change. And you know that's not the case. I don't need y'all's money. You know, I give out my own money to the people, to the kids in the community, to the men and women sitting on the corners that's drunks. I feed them and then buy them a beer. And keep it real with you.
Yep.
You know, and I will not ever lie to you. Never. It's not I'm saying it in front of my son. Do I lie?
No.
Do I tell the truth?
Yes.
Whether you like it or not. What am I always doing?
Working hard.
And what else? What you teaching?
And teaching.
I'm always teaching.
Good. Yeah. I appreciate it. So then let's move on to the third idea.
Yes.
Which is slightly redundant, but I think it's important to clarify and state directly.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of times on Facebook and social media, rumors will get started about things that are going on around town.
Yeah.
And half the time rumors are just that. They're not true. It's
Right.
people just thinking, they're speculating or whatever. But if we had the press that we could trust
We
to
talked about that.
go around town and ask questions when problems or speculations arise, a lot of the rumors would get stopped
They would get stopped.
before they get started. And so, what would you feel about having Gloucester County or Cumberland County or every county really proactively searching at least a handful of people that you know you could call and say, hey, there seems to be a problem with this new business opening on the other side of town. People are
Right.
talking about it on social media.
Right.
Could you go over there and just like ask if you could do like a basic interview to see if like everything is on the up and up? That way we can address everybody's concerns online.
I would love that. And then you could start with the people that work at the libraries. Because the public library in Paulsboro is open whenever it wants to be, whoever's running it, they're not running it correctly. So yes, like say you can steam head something like that.
Yeah.
And get the people to be the reporters. Because where's Gloucester County Times at? Where's Cumberland County Times go? We don't have the newspaper no more. So now they can get the news and put the newspaper on the internet for you, but at least they went out and got the truth that you were looking for.
Right.
I think it's a great idea.
Cool. And then what do we got next? All right, so that was pretty much everything that I wanted to touch on, but if maybe voters are on the fence, they're not quite sure about you, do you have like a closing message that you want to tell everybody?
I'm going to tell you like this. The guys and the ladies that know me, the men and women, the kids, you know I don't lie. You know I take things nice and easy. I learn, and you know I will help you. You know I'll help you. I'm not going to say, send my secretary out there and tell you I'm not there when I'm there. I'm going to go to welfare with you. I'm going to go to HUD with you. I'm going to go to the places that's giving you a hard time, and I'm going to help you. If I have that position to help, I'm going to help. And I'm a good man, and as my shirt reads, vote for Rodney Dean, Gloucester County Commissioner, November 4th, 2025.
Cool. All right, well then, that's about it, right?
Yeah.
So, again, I'm Steve Soloff, InformTheVoteNJ.com. This is Rodney Dean, running for Gloucester County Commissioner.
Come out and vote, please.
Cool. Are you in the primary process that's going to happen for June 10th?
No, I'm not in the primary. I'm going straight to the election.
Okay.
So in the election, underneath, I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican, I'm
Independent?
independent.
Okay.
Okay, so you'll see Rodney Dean. You won't know nobody else's name. You won't unless you're their friend. Okay, so Rodney Dean, vote for Rodney Dean, Gloucester County Commissioner. I've been saying this for the last 3 months. I've been at Walmart. I've been walking around your neighborhoods. I've been in Washington Township is very big. So I've been in Washington Township. I've been in Glassboro, Woodbury, Deptford, Paulsboro, Swedesboro, Woolwich, Logan Township. I'm the only one that's walking around telling everybody that I'm running for Gloucester County Commissioner. And if you have any, want to ask questions, I'll answer your questions. But I'm the only one physically, old school, that's coming out touching you, talking to you. So you can vote for Rodney Dean, Gloucester County Commissioner. And like Mr. Soloff said, I'm running independent, and I'm going straight to the election. I'm not in the primary. I'm right November 24th, 2025. So let's do it, and be careful who you vote for governor, because you don't have the information on anybody that's running for governor. All you have is pamphlets that come in your mail, and you're their buddy or you're their friend or you knew them for 25 years. That's the only thing you know about them is in the mail, or that they're your buddies.
Or you can go to InformTheVoteNJ.com and get their websites and stuff. I'm working on it. That the governor's race governor's race is very very big. There's a lot of information.
Yes.
And I'm trying to sift through and analyze it as much as I can, but it's going to take probably at least another week or two before I can get all of it there. It's a lot easier when it's like, okay, you're going to come, you're going to sit down and all
but they don't even give Mr. Soloff that courtesy to come down and sit with him. But in a week or so, he'll have the information for you. Please come to his podcast. What's your, so they can find out the information?
InformTheVoteNJ.com.
InformTheVoteNJ.com. We need you to flood it. We need you to flood it. Get all the information you can. This is so important.
Cool.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Thanks again for taking the time.
I love you, my brother.
Yeah,
what
I know
you're
it was
doing
a drive.
is good.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go back to Shannon, Sharpe, and I'm gonna come back to the UFC guy,
Rogan.
Joe Rogan. Y'all need to look at this man and get this man on your show. because this is very important. So thanks for watching. My son Kane Dean, say goodbye.
Bye.
He'll be the next middleweight champion of the world, aka Sharpe Shepherd.
All right, cool.
All right, thanks for watching. Steve, I love you,
Thanks
brother.
for tuning
Thank
in,
you.
everybody.
Thanks for tuning in.